How are you, Mrs.?
All good, mister. How are you?
All is well. So what have you been up to this week?
Let me think. Oh, yes, there's my first. What have I been up to this week? Let me think. Just visited my sister. That was amazing. Prior to that, this last couple of days, I've been marking my students' stuff. It's been really cool. Loved that. It's just lovely to read the things that they've learned and the ways in which the teachings that they've picked up have enriched their lives and how they're going out and sharing it with others. And yeah, that's it's a lovely thing to experience, reading through all their documentation of what they've been learning. What else? Not much else. I mean, we spoke about the aftermath of my personal grievance. Or not the aftermath, the kind of, we haven't even had the aftermath yet, but just the process of going through one and documenting it and submitting it to HR, and how difficult that was. But it was nice to have your, for want of a better word, feedback and support on that. Yeah, now I just need you to read my emails in case there's a response, because I don't want to read it.
Okay. Yeah.
That's what I've been going through this week. Is there anything else? Not really. Not that I can think of right now. Maybe something will turn up as we go. And you?
Compared to you, not much.
Really?
Oh, what you do for a living as a kaioko teacher is amazing. Having students around you and teaching them, so cool. For me, I work by myself. It's just me, myself, and I. And it does get a bit boring, and you just listen to music, and when you have time, listen to podcasts, which is cool too. So the flexibility is really cool, the job that I do. On top of that, it looks like I might be going back to my old job. Just have to do a physical. It cracks me up because I guess it's a bit physical, the job, and I'm a bit older, so I'm sure that I'll pass the physical. And well, that's about it, really. Going to the gym, waking up, going about my day, and that's it.
What's it like? I remember when you first applied for the current job that you have, which is a senior kind of role, which is less labour involved, less tools involved, more experience, just something that required your long-term experience that you had. And I remember when you tried out for that or applied for it, and you were actually offered that job, and what it meant after wanting to have a less physical job. And though you would have that, there was a significant financial, the financial reward was a lot less.
Yeah.
And you didn't really want to do it because you didn't want to, this is what I remember of that time. You didn't want to take the job because the money was so much less. But I remember being really almost aggressively encouraging of you taking the job, because I felt that, I don't know, this is just what I remember thinking at the time. I felt that, I'd heard you say that you were sick of your job for a long time, and I'd seen you experience the physical, I wouldn't say deterioration, but just because you're older and you had been doing physical work for a long time, I'd seen you suffer physically, and I wanted to see you not suffer so much physically. And so I really, really pushed you. I aggressively pushed the idea of you taking that job. And yeah, there's been some regret on my part for that, especially seeing what then happened with the way the drop in money affected some other major things that meant you even had even less money to like you took a massive hit and when you took that job, and in my mind it was on an ego sort of basis. I was thinking that it was more befitting you to have this job which had some kind of legitimacy around who you are, your experience, what you deserved, and all of that. I don't know. I felt that you should take the job because it said something about who you are. It's hard to explain it, but I felt like you deserved a higher position that set you out above your peers in that other role that you were already in. Does that make sense?
It's almost like you're saying, like, what I hear is the ego side of stuff, you know, the position, the peers, you know, or that they see me for who I guess, you know, my position that I had, or that I still have, but it was higher, isn't it?
Yeah.
So there was some type of status.
Yes. Yeah.
And I like that, you know. Thinking about what you just said about how aggressively that you pushed me towards it. You know, I played a part. It wasn't just you. And I was getting sick of the job, and I didn't understand the implications when it came to the financial side of stuff, especially child support, because, you know, I still pay child support for one child, and that I learned a lot about the IID and what you have to, what are the steps that I needed to take, or maybe I should have taken beforehand, before taking the job. I should have asked questions. So I know now it's not as easy as just you know, applying for a job, you know, paying child support, and you actually, my wage got cut a bit, so I did lose a bit of money. But thinking that I lost money, I was thinking about the time I had, the extra time I had available. I was off the tools. You know, everything made sense until it came sort of crashing down. Not crashing down, but until it hit me, you know, like I haven't gotten back to where I was before I left the last job financially. Yeah, it's been like almost 2 years, and it's been a real struggle for me. It's a real struggle. Going back to my job, I'm thankful that I'm going back, to tell you the truth, you know, and they've given me that opportunity, because they could have said no. So it's all a learning curve, you know.
Yeah, I have a lot of regret about pushing you to do that. I sort of, one of the things, I don't know if this is true or not, but yeah, I don't know. But I sort of thought that if you didn't do it, it's all about me, you know, and how it affects me. Like I hate to say that, but that's the truth of it, isn't it? And so I'd heard you, I had felt that you had always wanted to, you know, move higher within your company, and I believed that if you didn't do it, then you would regret it, and of course that would make me suffer because your regret you would take it out on me. So that's that's just, I guess, I don't know. I think that's where it comes from, from that selfish place of wondering how it would affect me, I guess, and you, but me, both of us, but me probably more. And it's been a journey, and it's not something we could probably cover in a couple of minutes, but it's you've changed a lot about the way you operate, whereas I feel like for a long time I was a huge support system to you, and of course that's so different now. And so yeah, maybe things may have been different had we found Jesse sooner, and discovered that whole thing of, you know, knowing how to deal with things in a better way, and not complaining about things, and letting go of things, and you know, not talking to women as much, not you know, not sharing your problems with women. I don't know, I think it's so different, so it's hard to know. I try now to step back and trust you. That's hard because of my own ego, and because of my experience of not you necessarily, but yeah, my life experience, and seeing people that I look up to and trust make terrible decisions. So yeah, it's a thing to step back and allow people, especially allow my man, to be the man and do what's right.
You did mention about how men tend to share some of their issues with, you know, with their partners, or their wives or girlfriends, whatever. And sometimes that could be a mistake, I've learnt. And it's a learning curve for me, because I've been brought up where, not brought up, I guess I've been taught that, you know, it's good to sharing is caring, you know, all that. And it's absolutely a load of rubbish. It's not a load of rubbish. For me, it just doesn't, for my personality, or for me personally, it just doesn't work when I share whatever I need to share with someone. And with you about that, about the job, you know, and then I was telling you had opportunity to do it, and then I was explaining to you about the money, but you were saying, no, what about, you know, you were telling me the good stuff about you know, working
and what was
hours,
it? Yeah,
less hours, and
yeah.
you know, you get a ute. You don't have a van, you have a ute, and you can use it, you know, you can use it as a personal vehicle. Yeah, and I thought about it, and I thought about it, and then I done it, you know, and I did regret it. I did regret it, and I didn't really talk about it much to you, I think. I just had to figure out a few things to do, and basically let it go, really. When it came to the financial side of stuff. But now I have the opportunity to get my old job back, which looks like I'm getting back, so it's just a learning curve.
An expensive one.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough, but it's, you know, I was still able to pay the bills, you know, there was still food on the table, and it's fine. So it's just about getting back on and doing what I have to do. Yeah. Get back on track. So.
Yeah, it's I would say, from a woman's perspective now, from my perspective, being with someone who pays child support, yeah, it's kind of difficult. Yeah, because you see them like that's your person, your favourite person, your number one person, but half of their income goes to someone else. That's weird, eh? When you think about it. It's really weird. More than half of the income or whatever it is. So in some ways it means that for us, we can never really start our lives in some way. I know that's, it's not like I begrudge that the other person, that happened, that's real, that's the situation, that's the life that you made, and that these are the consequences of that. But yeah, it makes it, it's difficult. It's not, you can see why the whole setup of marrying one person and staying with them for life, it makes a lot of sense. Because you're not splitting yourself off in all these different places, and you have that one life with that one person, and you build what you build together, and it comes to its fullest potential without all these other sideline things going on that chip away at that. But it's sort of, you don't get the full person, you get...
I mean, we joke about it.
I mean? Yeah.
I mean, it's not a joke, but you have to laugh at it sometimes.
Humor
towards something that's
because look at me, I'm like emotional about it.
It's, I mean, I've been paying child support most of my life because I have older kids and that, so, I've never learnt from my mistakes, but in saying that, I've always paid for child support, and I've always, had a job and all of that, but it's my own doing, it's my own doing, and that, or whatever I need to do to just keep on working, paying my bills, and doing the best I can. So, and for both of us, because it's not just me, it's us. And so, getting my old job back, I know it's going to be hard, but to me, it's not as hard as it's been for the last 2 years when it comes to money. And I would love for us to, save and be able to do some stuff. But it's hard when I have other obligations. It's hard for both of us, but it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world.
It's just like, there's been a way set down for, thousands of years. They figured it out ages ago, but we still haven't learnt. Humans still want to go, oh no, I can think of a better way to do things.
What is it? They say the grass is all green on the other side. It ain't.
But that ancient wisdom, that biblical stuff, it makes sense. But I mean, I'm not saying that it's just, you see the ramifications of not doing things the right way. At this end, I mean, it's crazy. You could look at what came before us and say that had some kind of bearing on how things ended up for us. There's a lot of confusion, I suppose, I definitely had about life, and of course what you were mentioning about drinking, drugs and alcohol, they played their part in messing up, my worldview and my thinking, and contributed to the things that the way I live my life, I guess. And so it is nice to sit here and reflect on that, and because I had a little thought before we came on today, that it's really different now when you think about the rest of your life. You think, oh my God, there's only, we're lucky to even be here, but for the next part of life, it's, how do you not think I'm going to die soon? And also my body's breaking down and getting older and less capable. So how do you live happily and comfortably as you're deteriorating and heading towards literal death? I that's the first time I've had that thought, and I know you're that enough few years older than me that a lot of the stuff that I just and coming across you've already experienced it. You've already been experiencing it. But I had that thought real. It was real for the first time today. Wow. Age, deterioration, death. It's real. It's real. I've never ever thought like that before. I've always felt like I've got, so much time. But now I know I don't have much time. And that's like, wow. I don't want to use that word, but it is like, it's very confronting.
No.
It's uncomfortable. It's very uncomfortable to know that you don't have all the time in the world.
AI comes along because I'm a big fan of that. I love the technology of it, and I love the fact that with AI comes advancements in health and and all of that. And I'm one of those guys who's waiting for certain things to happen so I can live longer, I guess. I don't want to die.
What certain things are you waiting for?
Well, say for your joints, they can help with joints, new medications. Medications, more advanced. AI can do that, and eventually, if my arm gets chopped off, I can have a robot arm. But if my head gets chopped off, put a new head. But I love the AI, artificial intelligence. But lately, I've been watching some podcasts on AI, and it is quite depressing at the same time. If you're not ready for it, if you think that, for starters, if you think that your job is safe, it's not, because AI is coming,
Which actually takes us back to you getting your old job back.
Oh, yes.
Because that was our discussion, is that your current job, you feel, will be obsolete very soon.
Within 5 years.
Which is...
Yeah.
And so
the job I'm going to be doing now, my new old job, is more physical, and they don't have, I guess, robots yet to do my job. The network inspector's job is, it's more visual, and got to type in certain stuff into laptops. Nowadays all of that's going to go. We already have a camera that is able to pick up jobs, and it's once that gets more efficient, you won't need a network inspector, because that camera. And I was telling my son, because my older boy, is that all the other drivers will have that camera, and that camera will just be able to pick up jobs while we're doing our normal work.
Yeah, and so you've noticed that your job is basically to drive that camera around. You're basically at Uber for that.
Yep.
For that AI camera that notices all the jobs. So as soon as a self-driving car comes,
I know, that's
done.
And a lot of people think it's rubbish and it's not going to happen, but it's already happening. It's already happening around the world.
Well, your team went from how big to how big?
Well, there was
in the recent restructure.
So there were 7 of us, and then I got rid of down to 4, so 3.
Wow. So I like we just said recently, that's only the first restructure. I imagine there'll be more, just like we're having a massive one at my job, and I believe that we'll have some more. That's only the first one.
It's close. It's all right. Oh, my boy's here. We have to pause it because he's coming. Yeah, come to pick up the computer.